Buckos! It's Captain Bucko, and I'm back again to do a review. I'm making a habit of this now, aren't I, Buckos, doing the reviews? Well, I'm back again with another fairly recent game. This one, you might have guessed, is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I've been actually trying to get it for a bit, waiting for a good deal, and I finally got one. So I thought I'd give it a play, and I've played about probably, a couple of hours into the game now. I thought I could probably give it a review based on what I've seen. It may not be the most in-depth review, because, like I said, I've only played a couple of hours, and I believe this game is about 120 hours of gameplay, alright? It's very big. So I'll do the best I can with what I've done, and we'll see how I go. Alright, the things I like about this game so far, from what I've seen. Okay, the last one was called Rise of the Tomb Raider, and in it, basically the storyline progressed in to find the hidden city, and I finished that one. It was pretty good. I remember doing a review on that one. And then the storyline on this one is more of a continuation and a progression. As you can see here, these are the things you can unlock with your upgrades and stuff. It's a much improved system on the last one. A lot more skills, a lot more weapons, better design, skill tree and upgrade. There was a big improvement over the last one. Okay, what else? The storyline basically so far is that your plane crashed in the jungle. You're on your way to a hidden city. Trinity's also on the way to it. You had this special dagger that showed like the constellation of the stars, and it was like a map. And then the Trinity people took it off you, and so now they've got the map, and everybody's heading towards the hidden city. And then your plane, it gets hit by giant hailstones and crashes, and that's when you're in the jungle. You're trying to get to the mountain with clouds around it. That's the objective. Okay, now what can I say about the game? Well, graphically wise, let's talk about that first. It's the last one was pretty damn good. This one is definitely wow. It's that's all I can say. Wow, it's really good. I've actually played this not on my main computer, but on my second one, which doesn't have a 4K graphics card in it, but it does do it pretty good at 2K. And even at 2K, I can tell you what, it looks absolutely bloody incredible. So graphically, really good. I'm actually probably going to end up playing on my main computer just to see what it looks like in 4K, because I reckon it'd be quite a substantial increase in the texture detail and stuff like that. So graphically, it's a big improvement over Rise of the Tomb Raider and the first one, just Tomb Raider. I'm pretty sure there'll still be more of these games to come, because one thing that I find quite odd is the fact you'll hear it spoken in the game that she's actually only in her early 20s, old Lara Croft. Now, the first game came out in the series was 2013, so 5 years ago. You would have thought by now she would have been, mid-20s? So what, was she 17, 18 in the first one? I don't know, but, well, there'll be a long time to go yet if she's only in her early 20s. I can see many more of these games coming out yet. But who knows, maybe they'll make an old Lara Croft, eh? An old and fat one. I doubt that. I highly doubt it. Her character doesn't look a lot different from Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's evolved a little bit. I've noticed that she seems to be a little less hot in each game that comes out, which I think is all from the stupid lefties who scream, sexist, sexist, sexist. Oh, you gotta tone it down. We don't want the sexism. Oh, that crap. The snowflakes, I call them. So, the snowflake element is toning her down more and more as the games progress. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I wish they just left the bloody character alone. Anyway, what can Bucko do, eh? I can't do nothing. I can just voice my disapproval of the way they are. Okay, what else can I say about this game? Sound is very good. I wouldn't say interactions with foliage and stuff like that comes up to the level of, say, Red Dead Redemption 2. It sets a whole new level in gaming standards, full stop, that game. But this is definitely still a good game, Buckos. It's very good. It's holding my interest. I'm going to finish it like I have the last two. So, yes, it's a AAA title. You get to craft weapons and stuff like that. As you can see, I've actually just made a knife here out of a piece of metal where I scabbed off the plane. You use that to interact. I should also add that as far as concepts go from the last one, there hasn't really been so far a lot of new concepts. Like, you shoot the rope arrow and then you pull things apart with it, or you shoot it at a mining cart, and then that makes it, you could pull it up or push it away. You can shoot up and hook your arrow on and then climb up the rope. All these concepts I've seen in the last two, especially in the last one. And the same is in regards to climbing up walls and stuff like that. You've got your trusty grappling hook. There was a slight new addition, and that you can now, as you're grappling, you can actually hook your rope into the wall and then swing down from the rope and hit the ground that way. So that's, I don't remember seeing that feature in the last couple of games. So they've added that in. As far as the weapons go, your arrow is pretty much the same as the last one. You have got, I've seen one fight so far, a fight scene where you had to use machine guns.
Where are you?
Let me say that particular sequence was, in the fight sequence, I felt much more realistic. The machine guns actually recoiled and acted like a machine gun. I actually felt vibrations and stuff coming through my controller, and yes, it was definitely an improvement on the last one in terms of realism for that. Here you can see here, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with this new feature, with this grappling hook. Well, actually, not quite yet, Buckos. Captain Bucko, he has a bit of a learning curve here.
Got to make my way down.
Okay, second try. Whoop, nope. Third try, third time lucky, Buckos. Here we go again. Alright, so you climb down, climbing. Then what do I do? Where do I go? I couldn't understand what I meant to do, but then I looked at what was on the screen, and there you go. You see what I did there? I've hooked the rope in, and I'll climb down it. Now I don't remember seeing that in the last two.
All right.
Well, this sort of footage is very reminiscent of the last one. things all crumbling apart, rocks falling down, buildings falling down. I should also add that Lara Croft may not be the ultimate good person in this game, and that her revealing of the great dagger, I'm gonna give you a bit of a spoiler here, Buckos. I'm sorry to say it. I have to mention this. Her finding of the dagger unleashes some kind of apocalypse upon the earth, and well, part of the apocalypse was a bloody great tsunami comes through and wipes out this poor bloody town and kills everybody in it. So, no, it wasn't deliberate that she did that, but I don't know, when she was told that it was her fault that it happened, she seemed almost a bit unsympathetic, uncaring, like she's just focused on the job at hand and doesn't really give a crap about the people who all died, and it's like a necessary sacrifice for her to achieve her goals. So she may be somewhat evolving into a not so great character, a bit evil Buckos. So have to wait and see more. Oh, now
I've got this.
it's almost also like she's becoming a bit, if you've been watching the Predator movies, Alien vs Predator, it's almost like they've taken some of that out of it,
The statue was
and that
that cave.
she can now camouflage herself in mud. Yeah, she can roll around in the mud and she becomes almost camouflaged with it. She can also hide in bushes, in trees, and it is very, very hard to see her.
This is it. Jonah, I'm entering a cave. We may lose
Uh,
contact.
The main gameplay as such is really not a lot of different. It's like, climbing through some holes, swinging on some things. A lot of puzzles. Would I say the puzzles are harder? Well, I mean, they were pretty bloody hard in Rise of the Tomb Raider. A couple of times, I must admit it,
Usually underwater.
I got bloody stumped. And I had to consult the YouTube to see how you got past a certain part. So far, I haven't been stumped not one time yet. And like I said, I'm a couple of hours into it now. So normally by now I would have had, a couple of puzzles that might have stumped me a bit. No, so far, unless Bucko is evolving into the ultimate gamer, and my brain capacity is increasing incredibly, and I'm now finding puzzles to be too easy. Well, unless that's the case, Buckos, then it may actually just be a little bit too easy for me. As you can see, this is a concept right here that we saw in both the last two. Okay, this is a bit of a new concept though. Now, did you see what happened there? There was a tripwire, and I tripped on it, and the bloody spikes come out. You'll encounter this quite a bit throughout the game, these tripwires with spikes. It'll happen when you least expect it, and to be quite honest, it'll bloody scare the crap out of you when it does. So, be mindful, Buckos,
Holding cell.
about where you're stepping, especially when you're going through like dark passages and stuff. There could be these tripwires around. Not that it's a big deal. If you die, you don't seem to go back a long way. I actually appreciate that, because if there's nothing more that annoys me anymore, it's dying and then having to go back like 15-20 minutes of gameplay. Especially if you die in the same spot 3-4 bloody times and you've wasted an hour just trying to get past one bit. Several games have done that to me. Usually when I get to that point with them, when they've reached that difficulty level, I stop playing them. I just can't be bothered. So, I've actually got this on the normal difficulty setting, I should say that. The normal difficulty, for me, is about right. Easy would be just far too easy. Maybe I could try the really hard one, because I am finding it so far not the biggest challenge I've ever had. This bit here though nearly stumped me. I was convinced here She's gotta be dead here. How do I get past this bloody rock? I'll tell you what, Buckos, she's got a hell of a set of lungs on her. She can hold her breath longer than what I bloody could. And it's lucky she's skinny, isn't it, eh? You gotta mash your X. Mash it, and mash it, and mash it, and mash it. And out you come. As you can see, though, hoping you can see that the graphics really are AAA quality. Like, there's a lot of good texture detail, lots of variation in the ground and trees, and I always found Rise of the Tomb Raider a little bit bland on some of the snow parts, you know, but I guess it's snow, so you can't be expecting a lot. Here comes one of a wire. Look, Buckles. See what I mean? Stuck like a pig. That's what happens. You could be running around. Now I bloody see it. It's there. You cut it first. Then the spikes come down. Climb underneath the spikes. And you're right. Yes, it can be a bit scary sometimes. You're not expecting it. Shit. Oh, onto another spike. It would have been quick. She wouldn't have felt much. I think that's a reminiscent trait from the last game as well. Trying to grapple things, you press X on your control. You don't quite get there in time.
Jonah, I made it. I'm in an underground temple.
Alright. We're in the underground temple, Buckos.
Whoa.
This was a kind of a puzzle here, which I
can tell.
took a while to get it to.
There's a pyramid. I'm gonna get to the
Took a while to get it before I sort of worked out how to do it. But anyway, Rise of the Tomb Raider was great. This is better. What would I give this out of 5? That's a hard one. Honestly, it's, as far as these games go, probably the best one in the series. I'm going to give it 4.5 buck teeth out of 5, alright? 4.5. I can't quite give it a 5, but I do reckon it's a great game. So, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed my review, buck teeths. This is one that I've got to do today, and I'm going to do another one tomorrow. I've got honestly about 50 games here to review. It's hard work trying to play them all and get the reviews done. Anyway, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, 4.5 out of 5. And if you like my reviews and you like hearing about all these new games, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like. If not, bugger off, alright? Just bugger off. And, well, I'll see you next time, Buckos. This is Bucko One Kenobi signing out.